Always an absolute pleasure to have Adam in from Wine Selectors.
Mate, thank you
My
so
friend.
much.
No, mate. It's always a good time when we get you in here. So the whole concept that we're going with, what grows together goes together.
Yep.
You guys at Wine Selectors are always about championing the Aussie producer when it comes to wine.
Absolutely.
And our winemakers. So we're dealing with a Queensland-based
Yeah. Something
region
a little,
today, yeah?
Perhaps a region that not a lot of
Probably
people
haven't heard a lot of, yeah.
No, and maybe, you know, Queensland is obviously renowned for beautiful beaches, tropical rainforests. Maybe having a grape growing region is perhaps not something you associate
They wouldn't
with
associate
the
it with,
Sunshine
yeah,
State.
for sure.
But we're in the Granite Belt, mate, and
So-
we've got two left of centre varieties.
So where's Granite Belt?
So Granite Belt
Where
is
does that
about 3 hours inland from Brisbane. So it's kind of on the New South Wales Queensland border.
On the cusp. Okay. We've got the two varietals that we're working with. What have you got? You've got Fiano and the other one is
Tempranillo.
Tempranillo. So Italian, Spanish.
Yep.
Gone with a focaccia. So we're going back to grassroots, keeping it really, really simple.
Yep.
Doing a homemade focaccia. And probably something a little bit different that you haven't had on a focaccia before is some beautiful grapes. Just some lovely table grapes from the Granite Belt. So the first one, you've got the Fiano.
Yeah, so this is from Ballandine Estate up in the Granite Belt. And this is the kind of, you doing focaccia being an Italian style of bread.
Yep.
That was kind of my inspiration for an Italian variety, or
Yep.
a variety that hails from Italy. So I'm hoping, especially with the grapes and the rosemary and that saltiness from the feta,
So that sweet, herbaceous, salty.
I think the Fiano is going to work quite well with it.
Making this up as we go along.
Yeah.
Is it quite typical to go, okay, I'm cooking an Italian or I'm cooking like a Mediterranean dish, trying to select grapes from those regions, but the beautiful thing is we create them and grow them here in Australia?
Couldn't have said it better myself. You know, the Italians in particular, the French as well, but they've been doing this for thousands of years. So Italian food, Italian wine, there's that fusion, La Dolce Vita, you know, all the feels.
It's a religion, isn't it? It's like
There's something
goes together.
Something out of body going on there.
All right, so I've just moved forward with a couple of things. Not to get too technical, but you can talk about hydration rate. So basically how much water to how much flour.
Yeah.
For something like this, I like to sit around 70%. So for like a 500 grams of flour, about 350 mils of water.
Okay.
I think that's the calculation, that works. So I just put the yeast in there with a little bit of sugar. The sugar just kicks that yeast along, gives it something to feed on in some lukewarm water. And I'm just gonna add that into our flour mix here, all right? So just put a little pinch of salt in there. All right, so I always bring it together with a spoon. You can get into that scenario where you continue to add flour and it just makes it a little bit too tough.
Yeah, sure.
So I like to keep it nice and loose, get it to that point, and then I can put it out on the bench, start kneading it. And I reckon we're gonna have to lock that away. It always changes with the conditions.
Yeah,
You know,
sure.
if there's a little bit of humidity around, it's always good. But I reckon once we knead that and lock it away, we're probably looking at about 45 minutes until we can come back and start zhuzhing it up with all the toppings.
Lucky I bought a glass of red too for a cent.
All right, we're going to
pour
keep
that
that,
out.
have a bit of a chat, and then we'll come back when this guy's risen up nicely and we've got some beautiful volume happening with our focaccia dough. Love the sound of that. Okay, Adam, you can see that the focaccia's gone through that second rise, so it's pretty much just time to dress it up. We're gonna halve up all these beautiful grapes that we've sourced from the Granite Belt. We've got some Danish feta, lots of beautiful fresh rosemary, the red onions, finish it off with some salt and pepper, bang it in the oven nice and high at about 220 for about half an hour and we're good to go. Normally when you're making a focaccia, you would create little dimples and press ingredients in, but dropping the grape from a height, they're creating their own dimples and finding their own level. You've got to love that. Mate, have a look at that. To me, that's cooked absolutely spot on. You've got that little, nice little dark tan on it in spots. For me, I look at a focaccia as a section or a portion of like an antipasto plate. If
Sure,
you're gonna knock up, you're having little afternoon drinks, you're gonna make a plate. These guys are gonna knock this up and sit down with these wine varietals. What else is in that party?
Well, I think if you've got Fiano, which is Italian heritage, and Tempranillo, which hails from Spain, I think you can take inspiration from what those particular countries do with their antipasti.
Yep.
So any type of cured meat, I think would be brilliant. Any type of pickled, raw vegetable would be fantastic.
Yep.
Some chutneys, things like that.
Warmed olives.
Olives warm,
Yep.
different slices of cheese, I think would be fantastic.
So we've been very fortunate to be working with ingredients from the Granite Belt, wines from the Granite Belt.
Yep.
Burning question, have you actually ever been there?
Yes.
You
2
have?
years ago. It was my
Right.
first time there, and the region blew me away. I went up on a writing assignment for Selector magazine, which is part and parcel of the Wine Selectors family. So the theory or the thesis of Selector magazine is life, food and wine. And they said, Adam, go to the Granite Belt, soak up all of the food, all of the wine, all of the
Spewing.
kind of hospitality,
Yeah.
and it was fantastic. It really opened my eyes. And for anyone who is a food, a wine lover, a travel lover, Selector magazine is an absolute must. And for all the information on it and any other information about wines from the Granite Belt, wineselectors.com.au is your spot to go.
I'm loving that you've brought these in to try and open up
Yeah.
a few eyelids, mate, and get people trying some different stuff.
I think we should get stuck in
I'm
this
into
because
it.
it's just wafting up into
I think
my nose at the
someone's
moment.
organising
It's
an
brilliant.
antipasto plate somewhere.
Cheers, mate. Thank
brother.
you very much.
Enjoy, guys.